Executives from Google and its auditor Ernst Young will be called again to a British Parliament committee to testify on tax, after a Reuters investigation highlighted inconsistencies in the way Google portrays its activities in Britain. Margaret Hodge, head of the Public Accounts Committee, which is tasked with ensuring value in government financial affairs, said she would summon the company's representatives to explain previous comments to the committee in light of the report. The investigation found that while Google executive Matt Britton said Google doesn't make sales to UK customers from the UK, some of its staff and UK customers think it does. Lawyers and academics say that if UK staff did sell to UK customers, that could have implications for Google's tax status in Britain, opening the possibility of much bigger tax bills. Google called the Reuters story misleading. Britton, Google's vice president for Northern and Central Europe, told the PAC in November that nobody in the UK is selling. He said Google employs a couple of hundred staff at its European headquarters in Dublin who are responsible for selling to UK clients. Google's own corporate website claims sales teams are based in London and advertises jobs for London-based sales staff whose duties include negotiating deals, closing strategic and revenue deals, and achieving quarterly sales quotas. Interviews with more than a dozen customers and former staff, and an examination of job advertisements, CVs and endorsements on networking website LinkedIn showed many roles go further than marketing to actually target, negotiate and close sales of Google's advertising products.
On the basis of the documents we have here, it would be very hard indeed to argue that Google does not have a taxable presence here in the UK, because the evidence here shows, as far as I'm concerned, that there is an issue which could be taken forward to investigation and possibly even prosecution.
The profiles of around 150 London-based employees on the LinkedIn networking website said they were involved in formulating sales strategy, managing sales teams, closing deals or other sales work. Google's Director for External Relations, Peter Barron, said Britain denied firmly that he had misled the committee and the company stood by its comments that no selling was being conducted in Britain. He declined to say whether UK staff did negotiate or close deals, but said all sales to UK clients were transacted with Google Ireland. Barron added that there was limited room for price negotiation on some Google products. Prices for advertising sold via Google's AdWords system were dictated by online auction, and rates for advertising on the display network and on YouTube are set by reference to predetermined pricing grids and discounts, and there is no negotiating behind these parameters. He still declined to say how the negotiation of contracts worked in practice.
We will need to very quickly call back the Google executives to give them a chance to explain themselves and to ensure that actually what they told us first time right was not being economical with the truth.
In January, representatives of the Big Four accountants, Ernst Young, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte and KPMG, also testified to the Public Affairs Committee investigation into their role in helping big companies arrange corporate structures to minimise taxes. Hodge then asked John Dixon, head of tax policy at Ernst Young, whether his staff walked around the offices of their clients to check they were conducting the activities in their UK offices that they described in statutory accounts and in statements to the tax authority. Dixon said they did. Now, Hodge said the statements on Google's website about its UK activities, its job advertisements and LinkedIn profiles raised questions about whether Ernst Young staff had been as diligent as Dixon claimed. Ernst Young declined to comment on Google, citing client confidentiality, but said it stood by Dixon's comments.